Hello, good morning students. Please subscribe the channel, drop a like, share and comment. This is Shree Vishnu Art Press publication exercise number 1 and 2 on the speed of 160 words per minute. Start. It is thus settled law that normally when an appointed authority or the disciplinary authority seeks to suspend an employee pending inquiry or contemplated inquiry or pending investigation into grave charges of misconduct or defalcation of funds or serious acts of omission and commission, the order of suspension would be passed after taking into consideration the gravity of the misconduct sought to be inquired into or investigated and the nature of the evidence placed before the appointing authority and on application of the mind by disciplinary authority. Appointing authority or disciplinary authority should consider the above aspects and decide whether it is expedient to keep an employee under suspension pending aforesaid action. It would not be as an administrative routine or an automatic order to suspend an employee. It should be on consideration of the gravity of the alleged misconduct or the nature of the allegations imputed to the delinquent employee. The court or the tribunal must consider each case on its own facts and no general law could be laid down in that behalf. Suspension is not a punishment but is only one of forbidding or disabling an employee to discharge the duties of office or post to avail further opportunity to perpetrate the alleged misconduct or to remove the impression among the members of service that dereliction of duty would pay fruits and the offending employee could get away even pending inquiry without any impediment or to prevent an opportunity to the delinquent officer to scuttle the inquiry or investigation or to win over the witnesses or the delinquent having had the opportunity in office to impede the progress of the investigation or inquiry, etc. It would be another thing if the action is actuated by mala fides, arbitrary, or for ulterior purpose. The suspension must be a step in aid to the ultimate result of the investigation or inquiry. The authority also should keep in mind public interest of the impact of the delinquent's continuance in office while facing departmental inquiry or trial of a criminal charge. In the case in hand, the allegations by itself are quite serious, but it does not appear as to whether the respondents themselves have made any kind of inquiry or any investigation or inquiry in the alleged criminal offense of the petitioner. The respondents have not even whispered in the entire counter affidavit that they collected any material from the said news channel or otherwise found that the matter requires some investigation or inquiry against the petitioner in respect to any alleged criminal offense. Though it is said that they have referred it to CBI, but whether any case has been registered by CBI for making investigation or inquiry into an alleged criminal offense has also not been stated in the counter affidavit. The investigation or inquiry into an alleged criminal offense would come only when an FIR or criminal complaint is registered. Thus, in our view, the order of suspension has been passed without satisfying the requirement of Rule 10(1) of 1965 rules. The calling card of India against corruption IAC has been indignant virtue. Its virtue derives from its leadership's record of public service. Its indignation is directed at the corruption in India's public life. The appeal and drawing power of virtuous indignation lies in the brazen dishonesty of the political establishment and the middle class gift for seeing itself as the blameless victim of a parasitic state. Arvind Kejriwal, the strategist of the Anna Hazare movement, displayed an early appreciation of television as a means of magnifying virtue. In the early days, before the first Jantar Mantar fast made Anna a household name, he drew Baba Ramdev into the movement because of the drawing power of Ramdev's television persona. At that time, he was uncertain whether Anna's charisma as a provincial activist would scale up to fill a national stage. After the landmark Ram Leela ground fast, which delivered the remarkable spectacle of India's imperious political class waiting upon a fasting septuagenarian's every move, Anna's success in creating a civil society juggernaut seemed complete. Parliament promised a Lokpal based on the Jan Lokpal bill and Anna's moral authority as a Gandhian fasting his way to martyrdom or political victory briefly eclipsed Parliament's standing as the Republic's selected legislature. From that high noon, Anna and his colleagues found themselves cast into the shadows as Leviathan resorted itself. Using its limitless ability to procrastinate, the state denied the IAC its prize, a Lokpal bill it could point to as the first fruit of its popular mobilization. The IAC's response each time there was an impasse was another fast by Anna. It became a traveling repertory company with just one play in its repertoire, and the inevitable happened. The public stopped buying tickets. IAC then decided to support virtuous candidates fielded by others in elections. As the antagonism between it and the UPA became more acute, this position became indistinguishable from supporting candidates opposed to the UPA. This partnership was justified on the grounds that the governing coalition was principally responsible both for corruption and for stalling corruption's cure, the Lokpal Bill. This turned out to be an unsatisfactory maneuver. Anna's movement couldn't possibly claim credit for the UPA's electoral defeats, and its moral authority as a movement that transcended politicking seemed compromised by its anti-UPA stance. Anna's fast, once trump cards, became liabilities. Instead of being buoyed up by an enormous public presence, Anna was embarrassed by its absence. The reiteration of the movement's monopoly of public virtue began to sound hectoring and self-righteous. The failure of the current fast at Jantar Mantar to draw crowds or drum up monster media attention led to an abrupt end to the fasting. An enigmatic announcement said that the IAC would supply a political and electoral alternative to India's corrupt parties. Whether this was an improvised response to the failure of the fast or a long standing intention, it represented an advance on the fast and fulminate tactic that had thus far characterized the movement.